Hi, my name is Ricardo Martinez and I am the saxophone instructor at the Conservatory of Music at University of the Pacific. In this video, I will play the California All-State Honor Band Cycle D solo and scales for alto saxophone, followed by some advice. I hope you find this information helpful in your preparation. Tips on playing scales. There are no particular fingering considerations with A major. Remember to play all scales with full breath support and a nice steady tempo. Try your best not to rush or impress with speed. Judges are looking for competency here, not virtuosity. To cross or not to cross is the question with the one-octave version of the F-sharp melodic minor. You must decide which note to give preference to, the arriving note or the departing note. In other words, which note do you want to have an easier time getting to? The F sharp at the top of the scale using the chromatic F sharp, or the E natural right after coming down from normal F sharp. Personally, I like to use the cross fingering. Make sure to use a swift motion from E sharp to F sharp. Use the chromatic F sharp ascending and descending with the D flat major scale. I like to use bis B flat going up and down. Use chromatic F sharp and bis B flat in the descending natural minor pattern of B flat melodic minor. Try a finger pop on the low B flat to help the first note speak. A finger pop would be, for example, popping one of the keys in the right hand while fingering low B flat. For chromatic scale, I find that side B flat is the most efficient. Side C and chromatic F sharp are also preferred here for clean and smooth transitions. Really try to show the groupings of 3 here as opposed to 4-note groupings in the major and minor scales. American composer Giuseppe Guttaveggio, who later changed his name to Paul Creston, wrote this sonata in 1939 for the saxophonist Cecile Leeson, and is one of the most played saxophone sonatas. Other works by this composer include the Concerto of 1941 for alto saxophone and band or orchestra, and the Suite of 1936 for alto saxophone and piano. Creston used English musical terms in his writing instead of the conventional Italian. Rhythm is a cornerstone in the music of Paul Creston. Often his music plays on shifting subdivisions of the meter, as in the beginning of the third movement, and on irregular ostinato patterns. The beginning of the first movement should be played with a robust and confident character. In measure 10, calming refers to the change in character. Begin slowing down here and take a slower tempo of around 108 to 112 beats per minute at measure 13 instead of the indicated in time. The slower tempo should remain through the piano solo. The marked tempo of the second movement is a bit brisk. I suggest a slightly slower tempo. I recommend 54 to 56 beats per minute. The required excerpt takes place after the climatic high point and should be played with a calmness. This section should eventually fade to the end of the movement. Try using terrace dynamics beginning from beat 2 of measure 41. On the third reiteration of that pattern, experiment with side D sharp or your high F key alone. This fingering should not be blown too directly, but rather with a warm airstream. If the last two notes tend to be sharp, try adding 6 to your D double sharp and then adding side B flat to that of the final A sharp. The third movement, while marked at quarter note equals 160, can be played slower at 144 beats per minute. Creston approved and preferred a slower tempo here. Personally, I still like the excitement that 160 affords. Choose according to your technical ability and musical taste. Creston uses polymeter at the beginning. The time signature is notated in 2/4, but the part feels like a 5/8 with a 2+3 grouping. Whenever playing with piano, lock into the piano's left hand, which is also in 5/8. It's important to play the mordant to E sharp on the beat. This also applies to the mordants which appear in the first movement. I hope you found these tips helpful. Best wishes on a successful audition, and if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at rmartinez1@pacific.edu. Thank you.